I have to have 30 levels. We'll do this. Nah, we'll wait for it to go, actually. Oh, boy, was it a headache. Also seemed very loud. I think my desk is a bit close with everything. How's that? Am I hitting the red? No. No? Yeah. Right. I had a fun time. I had to move this whole section from this side to that side. Because, like a dum-dum, I built outside my chunk boundary. And that was a bit of an issue. I actually can't tell. I think it cut off, I want to say 5 milliseconds. Again, I don't really know what to read, I just know, obviously high is bad. But it's all good. We're back to just 4 chunks loaded, the central 4. It's also good because I plan to terraform it a bit, maybe do a crater, and that way you can change the seed and regenerate the chunks if you want. Something a little bit different. And that, not much left to do. We've got 3 lines, essentially. I can put stuff up the top here too, but I don't think I will. I'll probably just do these 2 lines this line. 1 line will definitely be traps. That's the system I go do. It'll be 2 command blocks per trap, so we can set up 6 per room. So that's pretty decent. And then we have something to put here. These don't really matter anymore. Currencies I built into mob drops. Special mobs, that could still be a thing. Just summon, you know, like pigs or something, you know, for the players to hunt. Anyway. Cool. So we've added in respawn anchors, right? So you can set your spawn in the dungeon, and there's also that, which is really good. We also, I should have seen traps. Or was that you casting a spell? That was you casting a spell. There should be a command block somewhere that is going to generate traps for us. Oh, they're using all their abilities. That's another thing I did. I sort of redid the timers for the abilities. Anyway, explore like usual. Make sure everything seems to be working. We have jump boost. Yeah, so there's a spore up here. Looking at little slime particles. You can see them in the air now and there. Boss. Ooh. Cool. Boss bar works. Everything's good. There we go. We got levitation because of the spore. Makes it kind of annoying. They do kind of want to delete the spores. That would be really annoying if I wasn't in creative and get to the door. Still want to find one of our trap places. They should generate in this corner-ish of rooms. Oh, there's one actually, sorry. I was on the wrong side. There's no mobs nearby. We'll just do husks, because I want to make sure it's placing the traps as it should. Oh, there's actually a pickle. If we get close enough to this block, it will set it off, and it should place item frame. Really? I'm trying to explain something. I should place item frames underneath all the mobs nearby. Perfect. And these do nothing for the mobs, but if we walk onto them, yeah, we get a trap effect, essentially. And that way I can sort of have random variation. Obviously, there won't be this many mobs. I could limit it as well if I wanted. But so you do have to watch out and make sure you don't trigger them. They are very tedious. But I do also want to increase the range it triggers. I mean, it's not too bad. I would rather the player not be able to see them. Then again, I'd have to essentially trigger it as soon as you walk into the room, which means I'd need like a 48 or something range, because that's the size of these chunks. And then if I do that, well, there's a high probability that there won't actually be any entities. But still, it's spawning a few, so that's nice. We go to investigate, it'll disappear and trigger. This be neat. Ooh, and we got the fish boss for once. Why? This is the problem with using items. It still spawns them in just random locations. Anyway, boss. Cool, so we have Beast of the Depth and Imprisoned Sea Hunter. Ah, so annoying. So, I'm pretty sure it's coming out in 1.194, where you can have a tag on any mob to not kick off someone. And that'd be really useful, because I'd love to have you actually ride this guy. I mean, just having it as a joint boss is not horrible. You have that tough time. I'd also very much like to get out of that. And yeah, so this whole section is underwater, which is pretty cool. Ooh, do traps work underwater? If it hits my... yeah. No, it popped up before it did. Where's the egg? Ooh, orange. Anything decent? I feel like I have to decrease the loot again. Shields normally have armor. That kind of looks just... no, just bare bones. Like, it looks kind of weird to me just having a whole bunch of effects like that. Potions. Really good chest. I'd like to get out of here, though, and continue exploring. There's a door. Okay, but for the most part, everything looks like it's gone pretty good. There's a spore somewhere nearby. You can see the particles. Every room should have a chance to generate some. Still don't know exactly what's going on with the spawners, why there are so many. I mean, it's not horrible. I'd rather more rooms, though, than spawners. Oh, what's this one? Oh, okay, that's a very annoying one. Teleports you to an entity nearby. Well, teleports a entity to an entity nearby. Got us twice. Which way was I going? This way? Yeah. It's like, this is the perfect level of, like, fullness. Obviously, there's a room missing that would normally generate here. So I think I might have to retroactively go and change the bar. We got a good one, absorption. Retroactively go through and adjust the room probabilities. I don't know what I was thinking. I made it so there's a chance that no rooms spawn, and that just kind of dumb. You know what, maybe I could put something around that to hide it. You know, like a bush or something, so at least it looks like scenery. Kind of like what I've done with these spores. I've just added the fences. Yeah. It kind of looks like it's, you know, enclosed. I would like it like that, but obviously there's no way to just generate around unless I have separate commands. This one's actually bad, this is poison. I am actually curious about the range. They seem pretty short, yeah. I might actually increase them as well. Anyway, the main thing I wanted to test was the traps. And it looks like everything's all good. these ones, poison. You walk on them. And it summons a poison cloud. They seem a bit delayed. It's also an issue. I remember them being a lot quicker to activate. Yeah, this one was good. It was hidden, so we didn't see it. Ooh. Slime boss. Orange? No, purple. Still, I want to have a look. Pretty crappy. Well, I guess the resources are decent, and mending books. I might have gone a bit too ham with the loot. Yeah, so this is another issue. So I'm pretty sure these 3 loot boxes all generate at the same time. That's why they have the exact same loot. I like having one set in a boss room. I feel like I might get rid of the extra line of them. Ooh, where'd you come from? No, you're this way. You're still flying around somewhere. Oh, no. I'm going the wrong way again. This way. Anyway, it's looking nifty. So speed them up, increase the spore range. Maybe limit the amount of mobs the traps trigger on. Poison. Right, slime. Moss. Yeah, we got poison. Duplicating. Same thing again? No, this one's slightly different. What does this have? Storm. I can hear the storm, but it's not actually generating the lightning here. That's interesting. Yeah, oh, it is. It's seeing something else, it looks like. Maybe. However, it has ambush and assassinate, so if I shift, we should get some effects. Yeah, so they work. Here's why the lightning is not. We'll take this with us, and we'll try it out. We will clean up, so... Billboard players, set all, dungeon timer, 0. While we're testing, get a light scoreboard. Scoreboard, objectives, set display. Storm. It's called whatever the enchantment is. Yeah, so it's going up. The effect is not triggering. I need to look into that. Sound effect works. The effect is not. Very, very worrisome. I assume everything's deleted. Okay, let's see if this is working in the overworld. I mean, obviously the command blocks are loaded, so yeah, it's definitely the effect. I don't know why I had to do that. I should have just obviously known. But the worrisome thing is this makes me think all the effects are broken. Alright, we'll find Storm. That is PvP. Always active. Yeah, they're all set to always active. That's probably just the score is resetting. That's in your offhand. That's in your main hand. Storm greater than 3. Execute at, let's say, entity that's not the player within 2 to 5 blocks. 5, 2 to 5 blocks, that's interesting. Well, I know the score's updating. No, but the score updates if we just hit. Okay, first thing to check. Make sure that the data on this is correct. Help if you use brackets. Okay. Storm max. Where is it here? Storm max italics. False color gold. Bold false. Yeah, so the nomenclature is right. Including the brackets, yeah. Curious. Let me just make one and test it out. If the sound effect is triggering, it should be fine. Max is this stuff. Have an anvil anywhere? No, because they fall. Makes complete sense. Blue storm. Sword. One of them. 64 of them. Storm max. Looks the same. No, so it's still not triggering. Which definitely makes me think it's a scoreboard. Scoreboard is resetting before it triggers. I don't quite understand how that should work because I manually reset them all anyway. Storm should be the first one. Well, yeah, if we do that, we can test it this way. Yes, it works. The issue was the scores resetting, or the command block ticks. I don't remember. Doesn't quite make sense. I mean, it should work now, because that's should be at the bottom of the priority list. Which, well, is gonna really annoy me. Means I should probably just reset them all and make sure they're all working. You know what, I might have just missed Storm. I mean, I'll end up testing them eventually. Not yet, though. Quickly, and then do some of the other updates. I think I will get rid of the loot boxes. The loot boxes are more meant to be a reward for defeating bosses and turning in those items. I don't think they're necessarily needed as the dungeon loot. The dungeon loot comes from, obviously, just beating the mobs. I think that's a better idea. I think I will actually tear out this section. This one? Yeah, this section. And come up with something a bit better. Probably, you know, I'll probably just do rooms in absence. To flesh out the design a bit better. So the only loot box you're guaranteed is one in a boss room. Which makes sense. I might do some sort of cache though. For now though, we should fix the range first. Yeah, that's what we should do. Okay, so the command is very far away. That's irksome. So if the player is within 5 blocks, it triggers. And we want to increase that. No, we'll probably do a chunk 16. I think that's reasonable. And then executes at every entity within 24. Is that reasonable? I think that's fine if I just limit it. Limit it to say 5. So the easiest way to do this would be to add stuff to here and here. 16. And then do limit equals 5 and copy this section and replace the other sections. And I should change this on my worksheet too. When I reuse this, places made, good. And we also want to get rid of the -1, because that's something I did not do, but I did in game. Okay. And I copied it, so we can just go to this one and paste it in. I can find the correct spot. Here to here, delete and paste. That is not correct, because I did something else. That's too far. 16 equals 5, comma. And lucky last. Okay, so in terms of rooms, what can I do? The annoying part is I would kind of like to have the rooms generate before any of the other rooms do. I guess I could come up with just random concepts. For instance, take a look at our random generation. So this is one sort of pattern. We'll just use the easy. And I could just have, I don't know, a box form like that, for instance, around the whole cube and do stuff like that. Sort of split up the generation. It's not a bad idea. I want boxes though. Also, in terms of the traps, we have one, say, on this section. We probably want one in each chunk, since we're using chunks. F3G. So, no, it's a bit more than what I'd like in total. It's always the hard part, settling on a concept. By far what's taken me the longest. Build a recharge anchor, so, okay, so this chain will be, I don't know, like necessities. Stuff that is useful to a player. beacons, maybe? We can activate them. Not a bad idea. Kind of like a different concept, though. Something I could do. I can do, actually. F3G. I have systems up here that I can make use of. Just have to figure out what. Armor tinkering stuff. Right, I want to make a way for the player to transport items back to here, to home. I think that would be a decent idea. Then I'd also like some sort of cost system. So in order to send stuff back to 0, essentially out of the nether. Otherwise, you know, you need like shulker boxes or something. You pay X, and you can dump items for a time. But it sounds a lot more redstone-y than command blocks. What structures can we generate? Ooh. Minecart tracks. Not a bad idea. Yeah. Perhaps on the second rung. So each trap takes 2 command blocks. First one will be gated. And there is going to be 3 traps, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Actually, the best part is I could stick these on the roof. Why are these odd? Are they all odd? 2, 2. Ah. No, they're not, because you're part of that. That's actually a better idea. If I increase the range, I could stick it. No. Well, it means any that aren't triggered will be there the next dungeon that generates. I mean, that's not horrible. Bedrock ceiling of the dungeon goes to... Where are you? Well, so the command block would need to start at 13. Almost forgot. I want to increase the range on the spores. Spore system. And I want to increase the particle too. Distance 1 to 8. 1 to 8. 1 to 6. Oh. Oh, it's not too bad then. Except I'm looking at the wrong thing, that's why. Is it not? Nope, it's down there. Yeah, that's right. Distance is currently 10 blocks. I think on all of them I want to increase it to 16. Your particles go 0, 0, go out 7. I would need to increase the distance on all of them too. Means I probably should. You know, the easiest thing to do in this sort of situation is just double everything. Then the ratios, you know, sort of stay the same. And it's not like you've made a huge difference. Probably just double check what everything does. Nah, that's fine. I don't even know what's going on in this one. If glowstone, sponge, blah blah blah. Fill in a 7-7 radius. Okay, so it's a sponge effect. I guess I will just do the same thing, double everything. These are also somewhat horrible. I shouldn't be using execute at E. Should be gating it to the player first. So each of these command blocks are essentially searching every entity loaded, match the entity. Make sure there's no other distances. This spawns. Interesting. Spawns experience, but it kills items. Don't know what I was thinking when I made a lot of these. It seems like a decent trade, I guess. 20. The others, no good. This lengthy one. I think this is the bigger one. Hey, Mindstone. $20. It's looking pretty decent, actually. I've started setting up the traps and everything. So I'm making use of some of the other systems I've built. So I've tinkered with spore blossoms. They actually give effects. That's what this whole system here is. And there's a random chance that X blossom can spawn in certain rooms of the dungeons. And then I've also done some of my other traps. It's coming along very nicely. Just want to up the range of my spores. They seem a bit short. This whole thing should be doubled. Do think up manually. This one seems awfully horrible. Some slime particles in 1444, but they're 4. I will trust old me, I suppose. And then all I have to do is How many bosses did I come up with? I think I came up with 8 new bosses for the dungeon, so I have to do their abilities, and then pretty much it. I just have to optimize. You heard of block scaling, and yes, the interaction entity is great because, well, it's a clutter-free and obviously a less laggy way to detect stuff. And currently, I use scoreboards for all my stuff, and there's a massive command structure somewhere. Which one? This one, that one, they're all using scoreboard to detect when a player attacks, and if I had the interaction entity, yeah, definitely. I don't know. They're not really like publicizing this aspect of it, but there's so many features in it that are backend. Like it's not really a gameplay update. Because if you honestly think about the stuff they're adding, it's pretty crap, like pretty bare bones compared to their previous adventure style updates. What they have added is just a massive amount of back end stuff. It'll be interesting to obviously do another project in 1.20. Oh, I've already done this one. It's kind of unfortunate though that I'm like just the timing when I decide to do this, and then essentially everything in this map could be done 100 times better with the features in 1.20. Like I honestly think they're missing a huge marketing opportunity because if they actually publicized these features and had someone actually showcase how to use them properly, I think they could essentially revitalize map making because it's kind of being dead. Like you don't see the numerous amounts of maps come out as like, go back what 5 years ish. I mean, this is essentially as big of an update as when they did. I can't remember what number that was. When they added the ability to actually to change NBT data. Like, I don't think. Yeah, but it's going around in there too. Yeah, yeah, which is great. But the issue is that it does nothing to grow the community. Like everyone who's part of this technical side already does the technical stuff. We want obviously more people to come into it, or to come back to Minecraft. Because like even the armor stuff, like we can understand how useful just being able to have that extra line in armor data for all the different cosmetic stuff, so to speak. But then you have all the data pack utilities from it. Well, some utilities ported on it, yeah, but not the huge ones. Like Zuma, Exuma, he does obviously technical stuff, but not in a creative sense, I would say. He's probably the biggest one that I've seen touch on it in slight. But like they just announced the name too. It's Trails and Trials or something like that, which just seems so stupid to me. Like it does nothing to capture what the update is. Like I read that whole blog post about we have a Swedish word for blah blah blah, and it just seemed like they have no clue what they're doing. They understand that this update is just a random bunch of features, and so they've just gone with yeah. They definitely should. Ugh. I mean, we'll see. We'll see people. I definitely think we'll see people utilize everything. I would honestly like to see another like map boom. Isn't there a dark mode now too? Oh, is there? That'd be interesting. I didn't bother going through all the accessibility stuff. I know that's like another big side of it. Like the actual list of I'm going to cool. The actual list of the accessibility changes is is probably the same size as everything else they've added. But again, they don't publicize it. They did a blog post on cherry blossoms. They did a blog post on the absolutely horrible archaeology system. If that honestly comes out as it is now, I'm gonna be so disappointed with four pots and just these crappy shards. I don't know. I think the best feature they could honestly do is come back with windowed mode. Like you can probably see the black bars because I don't have it full screen, so I can go back and forth between Word documents without it minimizing. I should Optifine fix it or something, like I don't know, I should probably grab Optifine. Anyway, back up, and then get to throw my little dungeon generator again. I also just figured out today that I can create a zip file of the world without actually exiting, which is pretty funny. I thought the chunks would constantly be updated and it wouldn't let me. Do I have... No, I don't have any in my inventory. The only thing I will say about this dungeon system is it is so slow. Well, it's not so slow, but it is pretty slow. Like, you can watch as it all generates, which I can like stick glass around it and allow the player to see. But it sure does a number on the ticks. You should have seen it when I didn't split up the room generation. So as it is now, I generate one room at a time, which is still it's 3x3 chunks is one room. But I tried at first. I tried the whole thing, and that was no good. And then I tried 4 rooms at a time, and that was horrible. So it's like 2.5 seconds per room generation. I mean, you get a nice message in chat. It says it's being formed, and then once we hit 31, because that's how many levels I have, we should get the next message that says we're ready. Yeah, there we go. Click to enter. Here we are. This is a pretty crappy spawn, though. You don't have tools, you're kind of screwed. And we can go this way. There's leaves. Oh, and we got aquatic boss. Yeah. So the way I'm spawning mobs is to get around all the conditions. They're all passengers on items, so it doesn't correctly check where it can spawn stuff. So yeah, sometimes they spawn slightly in walls. There you are. You're suffocating. Oh, and we walked on traps. So yeah, these item frames just randomly generate 2. This is like an easy room, so mud brick, roots. This is a boss variation, so it's got the kelp, it's flooded. Then we've got our boss inside. If you get close enough to the spawner, spawn the boss. Haven't done the boss bar or any of the abilities for the dungeon-specific bosses. But yeah, so all the rooms are procedurally generated so that they're random. Is it? I think I remember. It's like a whole bunch of different tabs too. Like they've taken all of the actual customization stuff and moved it as far as possible from the player. I don't know why. There was no issue with it as it was. I think they think it's more player-friendly. Ah, that's an issue. So when I doubled all the spore particles, so this to increase the size, I'm working in a volume, so I should have actually tripled the particle count. Well, not tripled, I should have, squared it. That's not too bad. So if you're near this blossom, you can see it shoot out the soul particles, and we got withering. Everything, yeah, is withering. Here's what the range is. Should be 20. Yeah, which I don't understand their mentality. They're doing everything in such a crass way. So they're so scared to make something new. Like even take the armor stuff. It doesn't. Well, I can't actually show because I'm not in the snapshot. It doesn't break the gameplay cycle. Like nothing they are adding since the new Nether update has done anything to adjust the gameplay cycle. So it's all these features that are only for either people who play new and don't understand or have a developed world, or people who have this age-old world where they just want something new to do rather than create a new world. And it seems like that's exactly what they're doing with all the menuing and stuff. They're making it so it's just this self-enclosed game rather than what Minecraft was, which is this, it's sandbox. But it goes beyond that because it's not only is the game sandbox, but everything you can do with the game and to the game, from an outside source, is sandbox as well. What's generating this for? Editor mode in Bedrock. They should really just standardize everything. I mean, the cross-platform play alone would probably revitalize the game. Now the boss, yeah, with glowing. This is a nice one. Does nothing except show us where everything is. Cool. Looks like generation's working pretty nicely. There is not a good balance though, so I've kind of over-tweaked the randomization. So sometimes there's pretty barren rooms, and then sometimes there's pretty nice looking full rooms like where we started. Like, I guess 3 rooms, this one isn't too horrible. This one is horrible. There's nothing generated in this one aside from the utility. They have a built-in neon dark mode UI texture pack. Really? It's a texture pack? They couldn't just, make something to invert? Honestly, it wouldn't be too hard to just invert everything. Obviously not the items, but just the background colors. I like Word. The same way Word does dark mode, that just inverts every color. Yeah, it's in the resource packs. It's automatically Minecraft. That's pretty nice. This one, pretty full. spore are you? You're slime. We should get jump boost, I believe. Random. The particles are somewhat decent. I think I should probably increase them all. Yes, yes, you rise. Oh, this is probably the one room I hate. I gotta fix what generates with this boss. This just fill the room with sand is kinda awful. Oh, and the boss got back to back. We add an edge? Yeah. How did this generation work? Curious. I guess it's not too bad. Fills in the doorways, which I do like. What's damaging you? Weird. Ooh, that's... No, we were... Have we been in here? Did I generate the boss here? Is it not spawn? Might not spawn. Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. Okay, so the spores need slightly more particles. Down here. It's been doubled. A cubit. And technically I should. Seems like overkill. I think I'll just double them all again. I am... Yeah, that is count. It's been a while since I've worked with the particle command. Okay. can I fix the room generation? That's the dead number is the issue. And then also boss rooms. Barrier, barrier. 14 to 16, so 14, 15, 16. There's only 3 numbers it can hit. That is the bare minimum, and they're the highest numbers, so they have the least chance as well. I can't change them. I can easily just allow the rooms to generate on lower numbers. Not that one. This one. Apparently it's 4 to 10. The issue at this point is 1 through 3, so 1, 2, and 3, nothing in the room generates. But then at least the space is sort of filled in. They're just empty rooms. I'd rather that. Sort of. I think I'll leave 1. 1 and 16. Nothing spawns. Is somewhat annoying. I have to change this 8 times per 6. The one feature I really wish we had from Bedrock is the little box that just opens the whole command. Sort of like Excel. Interesting. This has more digits it can hit, right? 8 to 14. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, they're both at 7. Technically, I'm increasing that one further. Now that one has higher range. Maybe that should be 16? Okay, and clarity's sake, we're going on this line. Going from... Nope. From that line to that line. For all the ones I need to change. I want to make it 8 to 16. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 9 digits. That's why I write everything out in Word and Excel. Because then at least I can sort of do it like coding. Not that I have really any experience with coding. I can space everything out and have each line so I can understand bracket to bracket. Even just that utility would be great. I don't understand why it exists. You know how it colors stuff in when you're typing out a command. Once the command's done, then it's all grayed out. Like if this was just colorized so you can see this bracket goes to that bracket and so forth. Be nice. A good utility. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so this side has to go to 16. Balanced out. The second one. This should help. There's still obviously a great chance that no rooms spawn, or only one room spawns. It should be higher. Is it? Sorry. I actually don't have my headphones in. I think I usually have it around 33. Oh, there we are. That's the issue. Why is that at 80? Everything should be at 50. Let's see, is that better? Well, I don't know what it was like before. Still kind of loud? Sure. We're 15. Don't worry, eventually I won't have any music at all. I have no idea why. Why my game just, for whatever, just stops auto-playing. Okay. So 2, 16, 2, 16, 2, 16. Been my life for the past week. It's just clicking on a command block and making very, very slight tweaks. Been very riveting. This is one too high. What? What in Minecraft uses a matrix of numbers? I know chunks are set out as that, but I can't think of anything else. I've already lost where I'm doing it from. Let's just... No, because, to be honest, even this was moronic. Should be down here. I can stand on it. Okay. Apparently block displays. Oh, as in the new ones? I've not looked into the actual scope of them. So I understand they're very insane. The fact that you can define shadows. Essentially, it's like shaders in a marker. The only extent I went to is I made like a stone wall that wasn't stone. It's so interesting because you really have to fine tune them. Like you could instantly tell because the shading was off. That would probably be the most useful thing if they added like presets, so you could have it act like a natural block and detect lighting changes or stuff like that. Even though it's not solid, it still does the same updates. Then I guess that defeats the purpose of them because they're meant to be, they don't update. Uh, there's no tick lag around them. Done that one. Did I finish this one? I just don't know how to feel about the update because as much as I want to obviously get this done and play it, I really want to just jump into 120 and strip down a lot of the concepts of this map and redo it. Actually, I'd like to flesh out my earlier concept for this. So initially, my idea for this map was to have just a whole chain of dungeons. Rather than be open world, I mean, so an actual adventure map. But even just special abilities, everything. Like the combination of the damage command plus right click detection. Boy, can you just go nuts. Like, I like my spell system and everything, but it's just so much simpler. Which all you'd have to do is detect when the player right clicks. You don't have to use scoreboards. You don't have to you don't have to have them deal damage, and then you could use the new block displays to actually do the spell animation, and then just damage command and empty that falls within the correct range. And golden, 3 commands instead of my exhausting chain. The only issue is the hitboxes are the same as the. Oh no, you're trying the interaction markers. I was gonna say the hitboxes on the block displays the same as the markers, so they don't have a hitbox. You have to be exactly on the coordinates. But I assume the interactions just detect. Actually, no. You know, I have no idea. I can hypothesize how they work, but I have not looked into it whatsoever. It must just store the data. I know how I execute a command when it's clean. That is the $1,000,000 question. Yeah, how would you call one? You'd have to just detect whatever updates. But didn't they add different executes as well for them? And I'm on a website that's supposed to make that easy. Easy for someone. The issue is no two people think alike. Ooh. Okay, so that's that. Be a little bit better. The room should be more filled. Even if the buildings themselves don't have anything in them. Ooh. For whatever reason, I still don't understand the number of spawners that generate. I don't have anywhere that generates spawners. Yeah, no. Actually, had I messed these up? Yeah, it's too long. Right, I can get to the top. Build tab, yeah. Yeah. Found you. That's worrisome. That makes me want to recheck everything. So these should have tag equals rework. That's why they're generating. Oh, it's fine. Nope. Nope. assume this one's fine, yep. Okay, so then where else? Go and rework. Well, rather than digging, I might as well just generate one. I'm up to 29. No, apparently I have 29. Someone made a working piano with it. That's pretty neat. Which means they technically also made a keyboard. Because you could just add whatever to the note box to turn them into the different instruments. But see, stuff like that's not publicized enough like it used to be. Oh, nice. He explains it in the vid. Oh, cool. I'm not. No. If I get absorbed in them, I'm gonna. This is gonna get delayed more and more. Oh, I plan to have this out in November, for the record. What month is it now? Oh yeah, March. Anyway, I don't want to do 30 rooms. Well, technically I want to generate at least one of each style. I don't know. Why do I not keep these on me? Game mode, survival. We'll do a more realistic. I do 9 levels? No, 8 levels. This should just be a 3x3. Let me delete that back up and do a backup with this experience. God, you have to. Oh, really? I mean, as much as I gripe on that, I'll probably end up learning data packs. Right, so you probably have to write out all the functions. So it just allows you to tie X to right clicks. Damn, I was hoping it was just as simple as it essentially just updates if the player right clicks. Because then you could easily just name the entity and then use that to detect X. So if it just had an inbuilt counter that detected whenever the player right clicks, you could then just, well, tag it actually, is probably easier. And then call upon it. That would be the easiest way to call upon it. That does make sense though, because they had a bunch of lines in the snapshot stuff about the data pack nomenclature. Text, the way you write it out. Anyway. 7. So this should generate 9 rooms, right? Did I do it right? I feel like this is just going to generate 8. Yeah, it's alright. 8's fine. Right, let's see if this is any better. Oh, I do not want to be in survival. That guy's tidal swept me straight away. Okay, so the room should look fuller, even though some of these will just be empty. Boss room, that's nice. Poison, gonna delete that. I think this already feels a lot better. Do it on Discord, just give you. To be honest, I have no idea what that means. Oh, hidden. It's pretty neat. There was a secret up here. There's nothing really in it. So one issue I have is I've got all these like nice pockets that form that are pretty hidden and would be great to put stuff in there. Like a subscription to upload bigger files and stuff like that. Ah, interesting. Right, so I probably can't just drop the zip into Discord, can I? I'll just put it on MC World or whatever, and then put the link. Alright, well I'm liking the rooms as they are. Pretty sure you can... Yeah, it's on the roof of the Nether. Because the easiest place I can think to do it. Did you disappear? Yeah. What ability is it? Upchuck, spew, consume, absorb. Honestly, don't remember giving you an ability to just teleport up. You are a problem then. You also have an ability to suck the player to you. So if you're on the roof. Ta-da! Does kind of suck for anyone who wants to, you know, build on top of the Nether. I kind of stole it. Yes, you can... Interesting. Okay, okay. At least we can isolate it. So, it's one of these abilities. Upchuck or How Dare You Exist made you jump up. Actually, what I think is happening is he teleports to the glow squids. And they're spawning on the roof rather than under here. Oh well, at least the generation is looking better. I mean, technically this room and this room are the same, but obviously they're not. Even the spore that spawned is different. I have no idea where the loot box is generating from. I thought I deleted that row. Eh. Maybe the rooms have a chance to. I might have done that. Geiger counter. So it was probably one of the abilities. Yeah, I think it was when he tries to reshape the land. So the boss turns dirt, grass, mangrove. Obviously, I couldn't do every block. Into slime. I'm pretty sure that has like a tingly sound. For lack of a better word as well. Like you said, Geiger counter. It'll probably be something to do with these three. And they should be the only mobs that are generating sound effects. How tanky are you? You're rusty. Yeah, decently. Yeah, so you definitely go up on that ability. I would like to see what you have. Not have you burned. Cool. We got sparkly pants. To be honest, the easiest thing I can do is just disable that ability. Lucky for me, I tag them to detect if they're bosses in the dungeon or around the world. We can just blacklist the tag. Anyway, the generation looks much cleaner. There was no just massively empty rooms. Where are you coming from? It's interesting. Just two random dark particles. Okay, slime. Should be this side, right? We were looking for upchuck, I believe. Is that the closest person? No, something to do with glow squids. Well, actually, I can just look. There we are. Found you. So you can keep the lightning aspect of it, actually. I literally just disable this. Tag equals the boss. I don't trust my brain. I should double check. Make sure that's the right tag. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know why I did this. Why I added the deboss tag. But I'm glad I did. It makes it very easy. I can look at all the possibilities and just take out ones that won't work in the confined space. Right, that just cuts it short. Execute at, yep. But you'll still do the lightning, so I guess the angry is fine. Okay. I could probably honestly just half-ass it and leave the dungeon system as it is. Like, I have all these slots to add stuff to. I can add roughly 36 more generation aspects. But then I also have to write out 36 more generation aspects. Ah. You know what, I will build the bones of the boss ability system for the dungeon bosses. So I need to count. I know there's one for each here. I can't even look at the right command block anymore. It's 1, 2, 3, No boss for you. And I think there is one for you. So it's 4. And then 3. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so there's 7 dungeon bosses. I really want to learn data packs. Yeah, I do kind of too. The main one that I saw that makes me really want to learn data packs is what was it? The way to add different models to items. I tried so hard to make that work with NPD data tags. They're just not there. Does not like them. Because that customization just makes this so much easier. Like all the special enchants I made, if I had a data pack that could switch the models. That, and obviously just to compact all my systems. That's probably the best way to sort of approach it too. Yeah. Yeah, the structure blocks and everything. I don't know. So my mentality for the structure blocks is you still have to call upon it. So using data packs for functions, I understand you can obviously, put a whole bunch of command lines into one. So like for instance, this dungeon system, rather than having this sequence, I could just have a command block that calls upon the function in the data pack to run this series. That's fine. But in terms of like structure generation anyway, I kind of like the system more because obviously I can make it non-linear by having certain other criterias. I don't know. You could probably do that type of complexity with data packs. I probably should learn. I mean, would definitely help with the ticks. But yeah, I think the probably the best way to learn would just be pick a system and then just slowly try and convert it over. From my understanding, the function aspects of data packs, they're not like a mod, right? You can't just have them auto running. You still need something to call upon them. I think that's the one sort of thing that deters me from doing it. Because then obviously this is a lot easier to sort of trial and test and tweak. Whereas with a data pack, to like comb through it and understand what's going wrong. Anyway, why'd I come down? I wanted to look at my other boss system. I mean, it should be pretty simple. No, I don't actually. I don't need that. We have 7 bosses. Each of them have how many abilities do I want to give them? 4, maybe. Simplest way. I need to pick a nice spot though and build it, preferably within a chunk. There's actually more than 7 bosses too, because a lot of them ride something. Where is my list? Well, data packs are not like mods. If they're in a map, then it's probably already in the world, and in a server, you don't need to do anything. Right, yeah, because you could have a server run all the functions. So for in a server sense, they're essentially plugins. Minecraft got sick of Bucket, or rather, Bucket died, and then they just made their own plugin system. Yeah, baby steps. Obviously, it was made for a reason, so it's got to be decent. But every time you want to add something new, you need to restart. Yeah. But okay, but put it this way: if I ever wanted to add something to this or change it, I couldn't because it's a map. Yeah, so you'd have to start again. I mean, you could do complex things where I tell you to take this chunk file and just replace your chunk file with it. But then with a data pack, you can just download the new data pack and load it, and then obviously restart. This is sort of now inbuilt into the world, and whatever I release is probably just going to be the final version. Yeah, it'll probably be time to do data packs after this map. Okay, so 3 bosses don't ride anything, that's fine, and then 4 do. No, and one of them's 3 things. 3, 6, there's 12. Oh, is it still? From when I do Soda Dungeon, I swap back and forth between the categories. It's a pain in the ass to rewrite everything out. I probably just forgot to delete it. Granted, though, I haven't done that in ages. I kind of bit off more than I could chew with a 10-hour speed run. And then the other one for that, the actual good run that I do have the world record in, mind you, is like 26 minutes, and I got a pretty god run for that. Okay, so there's 12 bosses. I give them each 4 abilities. That's 36. It's a lot of writing. I probably want to go up with 4s. 3. Nope. Much space do I have to work with here? Not that much. Yeah. I am on the leaderboard for So Dungeon 2 in any percent category. I am, what is it, 10 minutes quicker than the previous person. Granted, I developed a new strategy and everything. Ooh, this one. If you're curious. And then I'm currently working on, actually, oh yeah, it's empty. The full game run. Granted, I have no idea if I'd ever actually be able to sit down and do that unsegmented. Because I did all the math for it, and theoretically the run should be around 10 hours, but realistically, with human error and everything, it's more like an 11 to 12 hour run. And unfortunately, I don't really have half a day to just devote to it. Probably continue going down and then dig in. God, building this is going to be the headache. Gee, here's nice and empty, this chunk. Can't go there. Yes! And they will have extreme difficulty challenging me. Yeah, it's a bit sad. Because it's a pretty fun run. There's actually a lot of like minor things you can really optimize. But no, it's sort of the thing that got the most traction on my channel, so I've just been running with it. Okay, so 12, so let's go 12 up. I probably want to keep them spaced, so I probably need to go 24 up. 2, 3. And I do want to spread them out. 2, 3, 4. Sort of collides with this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Not too high. Nope. Go down a little bit too. I can have a pathway here, and that way you can still see the redstone. It is an idle game that, in terms of the any percent, is highly skill based. Yeah. In that sense, yes. You can control all the RNG. In fact, more so than I realized. In terms of that run, not that all the new discoveries I've sort of made impact the any percent. There's actually a lot of manipulation you can do to the game, which is sort of why it's really piqued my interest. Yeah, the Minecraft speedruns are god awful. I could not imagine doing that. And the ability they have to sight read is insane. Is that fine? I think I want to move it out, to be honest. I want to build it, yeah. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will give credit to the... Do they call it seedless or seeded? It should be called seeded. Obviously, the one that's, a set seed for each version and is obviously the quickest seed. That, the people who do that and just insanely optimize that, it's pretty cool. The people who run the random seed category, why would you put yourself through that? Yeah. Yes, they execute the same pattern and just hope it works. Like, that makes... Like, really? How can you have the mentality? Like, that's literally the definition of insane. Like, dig down, hope you hear lava or whatever, so you can build your own portal. Get a portal. Hope you find X gold. Drop it with the piglins. Hope you get X item. But then, of course, they have to locate everything, and that's the insanity. How's this? So it gives me how many blocks to go out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can do 6 commands per entity. And in general, that would be my normal setup. It would be chat display, sound, particle, effects. That's not bad. Three slots for effects. I think I can make that work. Yeah. But they also don't they also run on a set version? Because isn't they just like all versions? But don't you also? It's been a while since I watched one. But don't you like reset until you spawn in a village, like stuff like that? Like there's this criteria for the world for it to even start. All I remember seeing is like someone having 16 versions of the game open, all restarting, and then as soon as they get a world they like, it like they maximize that one and just go. That was insane to look at. That one, that one. Probably do these one down as well, so I can slap them later. I'm lazy. Even though it takes a while, I'm just going to copy the commands from up here. No worries, Mindstone. Yeah, they're one down, so I can slap them. Ooh. Okay, but this should be 1, 2, 4, 5 to 8. It's going to end badly. 9 to 12. I do want to do that. Thank God. I got to them before they did anything. 2 to 27. 1, 2, so that's correct. We only want it going 23 high. And this should be 13 to 16. I just don't want it on the 5-second timer. They got how many seconds? Ah, awesome. Good old choco milk. Too bad I'm lactose intolerant and I've had my quotient of dairy for the day. Wouldn't mind some Milo. Display sidebar timer. Oh, you're not set up. You are. You're tick, it looks like. Horrible. Same with like soy, almond, all that milk. I strongly dislike. Like me some good old full fat tasty milk. This counts up to 180, I would assume, so 3 seconds. No, 160. That's very odd. No, it's not. 160 divided by 8 seconds. It's an 8-second timer. Goat milk. I don't know if we can get goat milk like if you go to a farmer's market or a health shop, you could probably get goat milk. But like our general supermarket stuff here in Australia, I don't think I've ever seen. And I'm pretty rural too, so as an opposite of that, so we definitely don't have goat milk, even though we're country. Would have had it at some point though. My nan's very that type. it's definitely it's sour, but obviously if you had sugar, chocolate, it's pretty good. Technically, yes. We how to explain it? I grew up in the suburbs, but me and my partner have moved to the country near a veterinary school because that's where she's going. Oh god, none bigger than the car, but oh, the two worst experiences. So it was the side. Well, it was actually bigger than the side mirrors of the car, but it was just and it was on the window too. Like you just turn and it's there, and it's a quarter of the window. That was horrible. And then the other one was my cat was eating one, and it was so massive that all the legs were hanging out of the cat's mouth. Yeah, not a fun time. We're pretty good. We're like marshland, so we've got more frogs than spiders, and any spiders we do have generally get eaten by the frogs. Let's go halfway. Eighty. How's right side up like? Very hot, which is actually saying something. So, if you know degrees, literally our house is constantly 25 degrees. And back when I lived in Victoria, so even further down, like 25 degrees was a hot day, and now 25 degrees is a cool time. Curiosity, why is this not going off? Alright, because the randomizer has to hit it. They all set to the right values. One of you should go off. When this gets to 80. Interesting. Right, yeah. I said degrees, didn't I? I didn't say Celsius. Let's see. Celsius to Fahrenheit. So 77 is cool. 7 degrees. Oh, at night it probably gets to So probably around that. Maybe a little bit lower. Ah, that's why they're not working. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Didn't hit anything. It's nice. Yes, I've never really had an issue with cold. I've always found it. I have the preference of adding stuff and getting warm. I'd rather do that than have really hot. But when my parents used to live when they were kids, got to like -30. Yeah, I think I'd be fine with that. And I hate being like sticky. I'd much rather just adhere to like cold regimens. Like wear X outside, shovel snow. And I do. I really wish we had snow. Australia. It's the only issue with upside down. It just falls off. Yeah, I should probably keep these. In fact, these should be lower. I know where to build. Cool. I mean, that was pretty simple. To add any... That was still around 38. Yeah, that's why we don't make them circular. And weird, but not pointy either. And why you have to hold it. I'm actually kind of curious that we never had any sort of space program. I know weird Australian history, like the Great Emu War. But history was not one of my fortes. Yeah, West Australia. We have what, 5 states. Pretty easy to learn them all. I've not heard that one though. To be honest, I'm surprised we haven't had any. Like for how big each terrain is, or territory, however you want to refer to them. The fact that no one's just thought, oh yeah, I I think I'd like a little bit more power. Let's see, when was it? Yeah, yeah, but still, they still all answer to Canberra, which is this tiny little state inside another state. Sorry, not Canberra is the capital, ACT. It's literally just called the Australia Capital Territory. Like, for reference, it's compared to all the other states, it's literally the size of one city. And then all the other states would be equivalent to what's an easy country to use? Kind of like Indonesia, yeah. Indonesia fits in most of these states. Growing up, I always thought that it was like this far north state, and then just yeah, it shocked me that it's right in the middle of New South Wales. Well, it's more between two states, but it's like yeah, it's completely gridlocked. But yeah, so you run an area equivalent to most countries, but you answer to essentially a city because the prime minister's in the ACT. I mean, COVID almost brought it out. So that's funny because I'm from Victoria, so I've heard that claim more so about Melbourne because those are the two that just get all the love essentially. But to be honest, it doesn't really bother me. I am not big on politics or history, to be frank. Well, luckily, so my name is Ryan, but it is not spelt how you would think in boxing matches. My name's spelt like this. If it won't let me click enter. Well, let me click enter. Well, it's connecting. There we go. And thanks to that, because on all government documents, I just put that. So I've never been registered to vote because obviously all all my documents don't actually have my name. Yeah, yeah. I asked my parents the same thing. Makes me unique, apparently. But really, it's just a headache to explain to everyone. New job, new school. Huh? Huh? Why is it H? Why is it H? Oh, it gets old. But it's gotten me out of a lot of legal things, like voting. I might as well start filling these in. To try and get something done. Yes, it is a requirement to vote. Very annoyingly. But the whole point of democracy is to obviously have the right to vote, yet the rationale is we turn it into a dictatorship and make you have to vote. Don't ever get. Like, the whole mentality is, oh, but you could have voted for me. Eh. There is a trick. If you spill any blood on the ballot, like if you just prick your finger and wipe it a little, it's automatically counted and disqualified, even if you don't fill anything in. That's actually worse. So you can get fined for that, but because of the like OH and S behind it being blood, even if it's they just think it's blood. So if you try to make a joke out of it, I don't think they fine you, but I do think they re-chase you up. Yeah, that's a good point. Before everything was digitized, that was what my mum did. She did data entry, so she had the wonderful job of opening up every ballot and typing it all in. And the one she could just throw out was obviously the best ones, because then she could just log it as she did X amount, but X amount were thrown out. Right, that's what I was going to do. I was going to move these to the roof. Oddly, it is easier to own a kangaroo than it is to own. What's a good example? A lizard? Yeah. It was actually like the. So I have. What do I have? I've got a python, a lizard, two turtles, and I've got a wildlife license essentially to own them. And under said license, I can own no more than 5 kangaroos or 3 emus. That is the law. Just under a basic one too, so you don't have to fill anything out. You just have to pay them. Yeah, specifically says no more than 5, not up to 5, not you can own 1, 2, 3, just no more than 5. I can also own a common death adder. Well, actually, they're a pest. The kangaroos are they overgraze and they breed like rabbits. It's why we're starting to just eat a lot more of them. Yeah, our two coat of arms are just complete dicks of animals. Okay, fingers crossed I did that right. I'm pretty sure this is 12. Good. And change it on my document too, make it nice and simple. It's the year that said the kangaroos took over mainland Australia and we fled to that one small island. You mean Tasmania? It's pretty crazy. Like, you've probably seen online the really bulky kangaroos, but just their genetics are kind of getting out of control. Like that's sort of becoming the norm. They're just really starting to size up. To be honest, it's our fault. We've obviously moved a lot of them so that they're now interbreeding. Yeah, scary. I mean, I wouldn't want to be near one of them. Like they, the whole thing about them being able to support their body weight on their tail and kick. If you think about that, imagine how much like muscle is in their tail. And their teeth are no joke either. And they're clawed too. Like if you take a closer look, they're quite scary. I mean, some of them are gentle, but just the tools that Australian animals have is when you think about like what some other countries like their predominant animals like moose or anything like that. How just stereotypical. Yeah, antlers. Antlers, I guess, are kind of scary, but if you think about it, they're more a hazard to them because they just get you could easily get them trapped or stuck somewhere. But just a 6 foot, completely ripped, huge legged kangaroo coming at you. Yeah, well, I don't think they're required, but calling, how do you pronounce it, is very common for kangaroos. Like it's not talked about a lot because it's kind of weird that we sort of despise our national animals. But yeah, a lot of kangaroos actually hunted because they are a pest, like a human-sized rabbit essentially. I probably want to have them up here. It's a bit annoying. I think there is three types. In Germany, our animal is an eagle. Oh, yeah, we got them too. Our freaking eagles would eat a bald eagle for American standard. Even that, it's so much better. So cool. Yeah, our wedge-tailed eagle. So, well, let's do comparisons. So, what's Germany's eagle? Golden eagle. There we go. So, on average, our eagle has 1 extra meter in its wingspan than the golden eagle. What is it? It's 9 feet to 6 to 7 feet. It's like how in the US you go there and all the food is supersized. Well, you come to Australia, all the animals are supersized. Okay. Just have a randomizer attached to it. Too bad we export the majority of it. Okay, let's write down these coordinates. So this one's at 22 and 2. Means we probably want one at 2 and 22. And then what would that be? 12? To 10 either side. What is it? I think it's three young they can have at once. So they can be pregnant, they can have one neonatal, and then one cub, so to speak. So they can have, so their cycle is essentially they can have three overlapping, all at the same time, which is why they just grow so abundantly. So you very quick, and I'm pretty sure they're diostrous, which means they can still have, like, if they're pregnant, they can still have one more ready that they just put on stasis. And then I'm pretty sure that their term of pregnancy is short as well. It's 36 days in most cases. 1 month. So realistically, it's not even every month. So it's like every 2 weeks they can have one. That's so scary to think about. Like if you introduce them somewhere, they could easily overrun it. And just under 2 years, and they can give birth. Also, I don't have the mental space to map this out without looking. So we're doing 22 and 2. This way, 2 and 22. Just need to pick some other. Do 44. No, we'll do 40. 42 28s. Sure. 28 42. That work? I think that works. So 28 42. 42 28. And these also should be conditional every second one. We haven't even started discussing emus yet. Pretty sure. Which are bigger, emus or ostriches? Ah, good, good. Ostriches are bigger. So we do lose in one regard. It's alright, we don't have the worst in one type of animal. So yearly, we kill 250,000 kangaroos. and that's actually up 27% from last year. So they are growing. Oh, great! So there's almost one kangaroo for every two people, rather than two kangaroos for every one person. That's still huge. With the way we're going, soonish. How can we both be like one of the worst places for the use of coal, but also one of the best places to set up natural energy? I suppose. Wait, one's cold and one's hot. Pretty big difference. Oh, you got me there. Yes, well, kind of makes sense. Because all the moisture leaves the terrain because of how cold the surrounding is, right? It, like, gets absorbed. But no, I didn't know. Yeah, should be fine. Fun thing. Fine. No worries, Mindstone. Sounds pretty good to me. I think I'm about done as well. See you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Second one, yeah. And I did it again. Did it twice, didn't I? No. Yep. That's the end. Whew. Okay, so that should be the traps done. Like 2 slots left. 4's done. I don't know if there's anything else I really need to generate in these ones. I guess maybe just some wall variation. I don't think I'll get overly complex with it. Maybe just some way to sort of stop up the barrier blocks. And it's just the boss systems and polish. Finally done. So close. It's so far. Anyway, my brain's pretty gone. So, cool. I'm done. Oh, see you next time. So listening, Mindstone. Assume you're the one. See you next time, maybe. If it's someone else, thanks. Yeah. Yeah.